Good morning. It's Friday. Finally. Now then. Today's topic. It's actually something that's just been getting brought up in my gaming group. And, well, I've tossed my other topic for the day aside because this one really gets at me. Making money off D&D. Now, there's a few different groups here that I'll need to break down. I'm not saying that you should never make any money off of D&D. Not what I'm saying. There are a lot of valid ways to make money off D&D. The DM's Guild is amazing. You create homebrew content, you put it online. If people like it, they pay for it. If you really think it's good, you tell them they can't have it unless they pay you a certain amount. I've never actually put anything up there that I didn't put up as pay as you want, but that's me. And even putting things up there as pay what you want, I still make a little bit of money off of it. Great. They get something to use, I get a little bit of pocket money. I don't see any issue with something like the DM's Guild. Critical Role. Those guys make a lot of money. I don't mean just directly from Critical Role, but I mean in convention deals and in traveling around. Now, yeah, I know it's not, they're not millionaires. I get that. But they're making money to play D&D. It's a dream job. And I don't have an issue with that either. The issue that I really have, and it's one that keeps cropping up, usually rolls around places like Roll20. Now, if you've ever been on Roll20 on the forums, there are about 5 million groups. Well, they call themselves groups that only need a DM. And they've already got a story idea a lot of the time about what game they want to play, and they just want someone to come DM it. A little bit off topic, but I'll say right now, that's not a group. That's not a group. That's a pipe dream. You find a DM, and the DM has a story. You might be able to give them some ideas, but if you've written the story before the DM shows up, then run the damn game. Seriously. What the fuck? Run the damn game if you're the one that's written the story. You don't expect someone else to come in and run a story that you've written so that you can play through it. That's ludicrous. Now, back to the actual topic at hand. The issue we have then is because we have 5,000 games that are looking for a DM, you then get people that decide they're going to take advantage of this situation. And they want to charge people money to run D&D. They want people to pay them to play the game. Some of them are charging $5-10 per player per hour. Are you crazy? And if you're a player, why the fuck would you ever pay that? Seriously. it completely blows my mind. I really don't understand what would get someone to the point that they think they're worth 20 or 30 bucks an hour, because if you take 5 by the number of players you're going to have, and think that they're worth that to run a game of D&D on Roll20. I mean, and I'll tell you this, half of the DMs that are out there doing it suck. They don't even have a fucking clue what they're doing. And yet, they're charging people to run a game. I know they suck because I've played in quite a number of games on Roll20, and let me tell you this. The average quality of DM on Roll20 is about 3 steps below average. It's pretty poor. Now, I'm not trying to down on new DMs. I get it. You gotta start somewhere. But I've been at this a long time, and come on, guys. If you're learning the system, if you're new to the game, get a clue. If you're still learning the system, you're not good enough to charge for your time. If you haven't put in at least a few years as a DM, if you don't know your stuff, what makes you think that your time is that valuable? What makes you think that your time is that much more valuable than your players? Because if you're charging someone $5 an hour to run a game for them, what you are actually saying is that you think your time is $10 an hour more valuable than theirs. Because you are taking that from them to you. Seriously? I mean, do you really think... I've been DMing a long time. I think I run some pretty decent games. I have players that have stuck with me for quite a while who talk about my game all week long, trying to figure out what they're going to do in the next session. To me, that seems like a fairly good impression of somebody likes my game at least. And I still would never dream of telling someone they had to pay me to sit down at the table. That's not what it's about. Yeah, it's nice if I can make a little money off the side with the DM's Guild content. But I'll tell you this, my players get my homebrew for free. And then I put the stuff up on the DM's Guild for anyone who's not my players. You know, I've got a Patreon. I put the link in the bottom of the comments every day. I don't really mention it because I don't really expect to do anything out of it. But if anybody really, really likes what they're listening to, then they'll probably take the time to have a look at the links at the bottom, and they might see it. If they do, great. But I'm not doing this for the money. You don't play D&D for the money. You play D&D because you love D&D. And, well, I mean, one of my players just told me this morning, he was involved in another game. The DM, who I used to have in a group who I parted ways with because he was a fuckwit. He's stopped DMing their game, dropped them, and he's now trying to sell his services on Roll20. And I've played with this guy. I've been in this guy's games. If you pay him to run a game, you might as well just put a hammer through your head right now. He's worthless. He is moderately okay for 1 to 3 sessions, and then it goes to shit. Either he doesn't bother showing up, or he shows up and can't be asked. Just, he's pathetic in so many ways that the very idea that he's trying to charge someone for his talent is just, wow. Yeah, I'll leave that there because he's not here for me to punch. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's video. I guess the moral of today's rant is, if you can find a way to make money off the peripheral of D&D, homebrew or Patreon or, you know, voluntary giving for something you've already done, fine. But if you want to try to make money, if you want to charge people money to sit down at the table with you, fuck you. That should never be part of D&D. Now then, I'm done for the day.